Hey everyone, as you can see, I'm in the driver's seat today. So I thought I would just answer one question, which is something I ask most of my guests. Sometimes I get a little sidetracked, but it is, what is the first car that they ever had? And my first car was a 1993 red Geostorm. It was very cute. It was a stick shift and I loved it. So I put together some clips of all the guests that have answered that question and check it out. But first, here's a picture of my car. What was your first car?
1978 Scout. It was orange and white.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it's awesome. It's like an Explorer, I guess, but in the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
And when you push the button, like to honk, it would play the Pink Panther. I was a country girl. So yeah, it was awesome.
What was your first car?
I had a tan 1985 Chevrolet truck, 3/4 ton.
Wow.
It had big wheels in the back, small wheels in the front. It went great with my mullet.
I'd like to see that again. What was your first car?
Well, the first car that I got from my dad was a Buick LeSabre.
Okay.
But then...
The Buicks have come a long way.
This was a tank. But then he won a 1978 Plymouth Horizon and gave that to me.
Gave it to you?
So that was truly my car. And he won it at a Rotary drawing in Bowie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
All right.
They sold raffle tickets to a car and he won it.
What was your first car?
A Ford Escort.
Oh, okay. That's fuel efficient?
Yes,
right?
Yeah, not real cool, and it ran most of the time, but it was better than having, mom and dad drop me off, so.
Yeah, true. Very true. What was your first car?
A 1984 Ford Thunderbird, 5-speed turbo,
What color?
silver.
Okay.
Yes, I had a cow print sheepskin seat covers.
That sounds pretty cool.
I loved it. It was fun.
What was your first car?
That would have been an Oldsmobile Cutlass.
What was your first car?
My first car was a Pontiac Trans Am Firebird. It was red. I was 16 and my parents were out of their mind for letting me get it.
Absolutely.
But I loved it.
All right, what was your first car?
It was called, I think it was called a Dodge Dart, and it was kind of a pinky beige color, so ugly that we would lie to people. My brother and I are only 16 months apart, and so we kind of shared cars at this point. And when you had to take the car and go somewhere, we would tell people that it was the maid's car, that she was parked behind us and that we had to take her car. That's so bad. So bad.
What is the first car that you ever had?
Oh, my first car was a hand-me-down from my parents. It was a Buick LeSabre.
Buicks have come a long way.
They've come a really long way.
Yeah. What was your first car? An olive green Cutlass Supreme with a white leather top. So
Wow.
Yes. Wow. What was your first car?
My grandma let me drive her Ford Escort. She felt sorry for me because my parents wouldn't buy me a car.
What was your first car?
It was a black Acura Integra. Then my mom took that car and they gave me a black Ford Escape, brand new, like it just come out that year. And I had a Ralph Wiggum sticker on the back of it from The Simpsons, and he's picking his nose.
I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Like, what a dork.
What was your first car?
My first car, my grandfather, this was in New Mexico, my grandfather lived next door to, they were both worked for the railroad, and they lived on 5 acres, but they were really close. And the guy had retired, and he had all these old cars in the back of his lot, and he had this old, it was a 1948 Willys Jeep. And so I was like, man, that'd be so great. And my grandfather was like, well, let's, I'll buy it for you, and we'll fix it up. So we get it, we pull it next door into his shop, and we open the hood, and it's got a 327 Super Sport Chevelle motor in it.
Oh my gosh.
So originally it comes with like a 4-cylinder engine that's just, you put it on, but somebody put this huge, so we rebuilt the whole motor, and I drove that Jeep for about 3 seconds, and my mom said, absolutely not. Because no human should own anything like that.
What was your first car?
A 1998 Ford F-150.
Okay.
It was
maroon.
Have you ever
But
always
I-
driven a truck?
I've always driven a truck.
What was your first car?
It was a Mitsubishi Galant. It was ugly.
What color was it?
White.
That doesn't
terrible.
sound bad.
It's terrible.
What was your first car?
First car, a Gran Torino Sport.
Gran Torino Sport.
think
What color?
Ford made them. Well, that's funny. It started out green, and it's always been kind of the joke because I was a fighting farmer, Louisville, and the colors were maroon and white. And so I had my parents paint it maroon with a white top, and it was green inside.
So high maintenance. But school spirited.
Yes, I was a fighting farmer cheerleader. Yes.